Shedeur Sanders handed warning over second-year leap as Browns lay out QB succession plan. Shedeur Sanders may get another opportunity to impress at quarterback next season. The Cleveland Browns are continued to evaluate all of their options going into the 2026 NFL season. With the anticipated return of $230 million Deshaun Watson after sitting out the 2025 campaign as he recovered from a torn Achilles injury, all signs up to now point to it being a two-way battle between the veteran and Sanders for the starting role. However, former Oregon star Dillon Gabriel can't be discounted either, with Browns general manager Andrew Berry very much advocating for the forgotten signal caller. Sanders, who suffered an all-time draft slide in 2025, was given a 7-game opportunity to show what he could do in the NFL after fellow rookie Gabriel suffered a concussion in the Browns' Week 11 defeat to the Baltimore Ravens. He made the most of it by becoming the first Browns QB in over 30 years to win their first start and finish the season with over 1,500 scrimmage yards and 11 total touchdowns. ASC Cleveland went 3-4 with him under center. Despite also throwing for 7 interceptions, the son of Pro Football Hall of Famer Deion Sanders also earned a Pro Bowl replacement nod, much to the dismay of many from around the league. However, with the Browns having started 11 different quarterbacks since the 2020 season, Sanders has been warned that should he not show a considerable leap in his development, then he could be on the chopping block. I think even if Watson wins the job, and I don't know how it's going to go, I think Sanders will get enough games, added to last year's 7 starts and a minimum of 7 this year, they'll be able to make an evaluation, ESPN Cleveland's Tony Grossi said on Monday. Grossi was asked the follow-up question of whether Sanders would have to show a Drake May-like progression, to which he added, "Yep, and the record has to be such that getting one of those quarterbacks is going to be difficult. You'd have to win 8, 9 games, maybe even go to the playoffs." In May's rookie season with the New England Patriots, the former UNC QB went 3-9 in his 12 starts under center as he completed 66.6% of his passes for 2,276 passing yards and 15 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. However, in his second season, this time with Patriots icon Mike Vrabel at the helm as head coach, May completed a whopping 72% of his passes for 4,394 passing yards and 31 touchdowns to just 8 interceptions. This saw him firmly in the conversation for the 2025 NFL MVP award, though he finished as runner-up to 38-year-old Matthew Stafford, going on to lead the Patriots into Super Bowl 60, albeit ending in defeat. Sanders' successor revealed. Whoever earns the Browns' starting role under new head coach Todd Monken, who has declared an open competition for the coveted QB1 role, will have to take their chance because the next steps already appear in place. According to Grossi, Browns owner Jimmy Haslam is very much interested in Texas Longhorns and nil star athlete Arch Manning, who is expected to declare for the NFL draft in 2027. When asked whether he thought that Haslam was still looking ahead to 2027 and Manning in particular, Grossi said, "Absolutely, yep," Grossi responded. "I mean, he's got to have a good year, Arch." Cleveland already proposed a rule change to the NFL that would see them be able to package draft picks in trades with a 5-year window, as opposed to the current window being limited to 3 years. Some felt that the reason for proposing such rule change had something to do with putting together a package, perhaps to try and land the rights to select Manning next year. The Browns say, off the record, "This has nothing to do with any trade proposal the Browns are planning," Grossi said. But how can we not speculate they're lining up for Arch Manning? The 21-year-old son of Archie Manning, the older brother of Hall of Fame QBs Peyton and Eli, will enter his 4th season for the Longhorns in 2026. In 25 games under center at Texas, he has completed 62.3% of his passes for 4,132 passing yards and 35 touchdowns to just 9 interceptions. Entering his junior year, Manning, who has also rushed for an additional 514 yards and 14 scores on the ground, has emerged as the leading and very early favorite to win the Heisman Trophy. Should he live up to the hype that has already been placed on his shoulders, he will enter the 2027 NFL Draft as one of the top QBs in his class. The transition from promise to proof is one of the most unforgiving stretches in professional sports. For Shedeur Sanders, the message coming out of Cleveland is clear. Talent may open the door, but consistency determines how long it stays open. After a rookie season that flashed both composure and creativity, Sanders now finds himself at the center of a carefully structured quarterback succession plan by the Cleveland Browns. The organization's approach is neither impulsive nor sentimental. It is calculated, layered, and quietly demanding. And within that structure lies both opportunity and warning. The weight of year two. The second year is often described as the league's first true test. Defenses adjust. Expectations rise. The margin for surprise disappears. For Sanders, the second-year leap is less about spectacular highlights and more about command of the playbook, of the locker room, and of the subtle rhythms that define winning football. Cleveland's coaching staff has reportedly emphasized decision-making speed and situational awareness. These are not glamorous traits, but they separate starters from placeholders. Sanders is no longer the unknown quantity. He is now a studied opponent. Every tendency, every hesitation, every preference has been cataloged. The warning, then, is implicit. Evolution is not optional. A franchise thinking ahead. The Browns' quarterback succession plan signals long-term thinking. Rather than rushing Sanders into a make-or-break role, the franchise appears committed to a layered development model, one that blends competition, mentorship, and strategic patience. This approach serves two purposes. First, it protects the team from over-reliance on a single trajectory. Second, it places Sanders in an environment where growth is expected but not forced into artificial timelines. However, this safety net comes with its own pressure. When a team prepares alternatives, it also communicates that roles are earned, not granted. In essence, Cleveland is building a system where Sanders must continuously validate his position. Confidence versus complacency. Sanders has built his reputation on confidence, a trait that has carried him through high-pressure moments and into the professional spotlight. But confidence unchecked can drift into complacency. The NFL has little tolerance for stagnation. The Browns' message is not about diminishing belief, but refining it.